To say that Steve Poikonen is one of my favorite people on the planet would be a tremendous understatement. It would also be true. You might have found him over there on AM Wake Up every morning over on Rockfin for 3 hours, Monday through Friday now, off summer hours, and you probably catch Slow News Day from time to time, or maybe even on the Union of the Unwanted. You found him. Come over and say hi whenever you can. Go watch AM Wake Up. My God, what's the matter with you? Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Poikonen. Hello, Steve.
What's happening?
What's happening?
How's it going, Charlie? It's fantastic to be hanging out with you today, my friend.
It's always a good time to talk to you. I always feel like if I want to know what's happening in the world, you've got a pretty good idea of at least what the narrative is, you know. And if we know what the narrative is, then we know what reality isn't, because it isn't the narrative. And I'm just curious these days. I learned early on that when you see the magician and he's got the dove in one hand and he's making you look at this and he's got the top hat and all those distractions, there's something going on with his other hand. He's about to pull something out of his back pocket. What does the magician have planned for us? What are they pulling out of their back pocket right now? Because I'm distracted. You're distracted. They're trying to get us focused on Trump. They're trying to get us focused on Ukraine. They're trying to get us focused on a bunch of other things. And I've been a part of this long enough to understand that we're getting ready for the okie doke. So what's coming? What's coming?
It looks geopolitically like it's going to happen in Africa. And this also correlates with a lot of the things that people like Bill Gates and the World Economic Forum and the Chatham House and the Bloomberg New Economy people have all been talking about in conjunction with the Saudis and that line project. It really seems like the what Cory Morningstar referred to as the digital recolonization of Africa was underway in full effect. And with the French getting kicked out of Niger, with them basically saying, okay, we're going to take all of our military personnel and we're just going to let the Nigerian army with some people from Mali and Burkina Faso just sort of move into all of these bases that we know all of the infrastructure for, we have all the logistics and schematics for. We're just going to let them, have their country and have technically their uranium, I guess. We've been using it for a really long time. Feels like ours, but I guess it's theirs. We'll let them have that for a minute. We might even let them build up a little bit of infrastructure, but boy, are we coming back. And that's the sentiment that you get around the continent right now, from South Sudan all the way over, to say nothing, the ongoing slaughter of the Yemenis or the continued occupation of Palestine by a hostile invasive Zionist army of murderous goons.
French are going hard R. Big time.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, the French, the French of those, and if you guys are familiar with this, I have a theory on a show that I do with my old neighbor in Vegas, Teal, and my friend Sugar, where we discuss that the quality of your barbecue, so specifically your barbecue sauce, increases by the amount of hard R racism is involved in the preparation of it, and that can be hard R on the cracker. Okay, this is pan cultural. But the more inherent racism you carry as the chef, the better the sauce comes out. And I feel like with the French, they're about to whip up some freaking, like wine and cream thing that is it's just chocked full of hard R. And we're about to see some escalation in earnest take place in East Africa.
Yeah, we are. And the Chinese have been out there building infrastructure for their Belt and Road Initiative. We've got a lot of...
Do you know about the dictator general schools that they have?
Yeah. Yeah,
where all of these guys from Mali and Burkina Faso and Niger, they all went to the same school. The Chinese were like, here's how you turn your military junta into a state-managed, centrally planned utopia.
Yes. Well, we have those too. We like to call them war colleges and things like that, where we take some dipshit, the king of England's son and say, come on over here and let's put you in our war college and we'll teach you how to do all these underhanded things and then send them out into the world. I don't know why the Chinese wouldn't do the same thing, right? They plan to be there for a while. It behooves them to have a system in place that they understand and run because they created it by putting the people in positions of power. I wonder how this is going to be viewed by the United States, because we feel it seems like the Belt and Road Initiative is a great way to connect up China into a lot of ports so they can know what's coming and going inside and out. If you run a port, you are in the intelligence business, whether you want to be or not. So we've got that going up and down the eastern coast of Africa, into the Horn, up into the Persian Gulf, and in this area where Saudis are. We see a lot of big plans out there. The line, you mentioned that the Saudis want to build a 110-mile building that is going to be so perfect that you're never going to want to leave it. Can we leave it? Well, that's beside the point. You're never going to want to leave it. You may. The only way you leave is by catapult, right? And they just launch you into the desert. But this feels like it feels like something that's going on that the United States would normally be the ones doing. And yet this time it's the Chinese. They're building hospitals and infrastructure for sick Africans, and we are building graveyards for dead ones. Is China going to move in, muscle in on our Africa grift? Is this the future, or is this where the battle will take place?
Well, they've certainly been attempting to, and they've certainly been attempting to make it a Chinese or BRICS-led grift. I said a while ago that, before we know it, we're going to be talking about how Oceania has always been at war with Eurasia. And that's effectively the way that the BRICS alliance nations bill it when they talk about it, while they're still talking about all the sustainable development goals they're going to hit, and the digital currency, and all of the other things that people have identified as bad coming from the WEF. And so there's this disconnect in the US right now between the left, which acts as a protectorate for China, and the right, which it doesn't matter, they're just hell-bent on destroying them.
Thanks for watching that clip. If you want to hear the entire episode in audio format, just go wherever podcasts are served, search for Macroaggressions, subscribe to the show, and please rate it when you get a chance. Thanks, everybody.